when I heard a child's laughter. I went outside my...
Clucker. Big time. Hold on. Dead ass.
I'm toxic in this bitch. My whole crew get lit. No shame, y'all gang, been doing this shit. No assassin, still smashing, pulling up with the whip. Got my bros beside me, hanging out with the clique.
Still focused, never hopeless, always.
You ready? Let's go. Sup? So. You definitely got it. What the fuck? You're shitting me.
I'm 27 years old, living with my brother James in a house we share. Never had anything severely strange or abnormal happen to me in my life, but there was this one week that I experienced this strange series of events. It started on what I thought would be a normal night like any other. I was in the kitchen washing the dishes before getting ready for bed. Suddenly, a plastic cup came crashing to the floor, and the sound of it made me jump and spin around from the sink. I saw the blue plastic cup bounce a few times, then fall dead on the floor.
Really? Really? So you bullshitting right now. You playing games off bucks. You saw the cup bounce around talking about something. You saw the cup do this shit. And then fall on the floor. Like, and then that's when, did you even run? Like, hold on. Because I feel like, no, because you're doing too much. Like, come on.
It was one of the cups that sits up top the cabinet. I knew it had to have been sitting upright though. I had no idea what kind of force could have knocked it off the cabinet. It made no logical sense. I picked it up and put it back on the cabinet. That wasn't the last strange event that night though. While in bed with the blinds shut, there was suddenly a strange, very faint glow in my room. It came through the blinds. I flipped over onto my side and tried to peek under the crack at the bottom of the blinds.
Come on, yo, come on. No. 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 That's not, no, stop. Stop it. Stop. Because you already clucking up and we're literally not even, what? Come on, yo, like, we barely started the video and you already clucking up multiple times. You saw a light coming from your window and you gonna check the bitch out. If it's not Jesus or God, you got no reason to check out the light. Just saying.
Couldn't see anything. Honestly, as weird as it was, I was so comfortable in bed and was too lazy to go lift the blinds. I dismissed the light as something like a street light having a new bulb or something. I know, a little ridiculous, but at the time I had no reason to suspect anything paranormal.
Come on.
The next day I was home alone when James was at work. It was a dark, stormy day, and the house was constantly rumbling from the thunder, so when I heard a cup fall from the kitchen, I associated it with the thunder. I went to the kitchen to pick it up, and realized it was the same blue plastic cup I'd carefully put back on the cabinet yesterday.
You got it.
There was no way thunder could have knocked it down from where it was.
Yeah, no shit.
I put it on the counter and stood there, confused and a bit shaken, looking around the kitchen, not knowing what to think. As I was standing in the kitchen, I heard a creak in the floor above me. The room above me was actually my bedroom. I went to the stairs and called up for James, but I instantly remembered he wasn't home. Maybe it was the thunder shaking the whole house.
Really? 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 What thunder? Where in the world, in this world, where on this planet does thunder sound like footprints, footsteps? Where on this world does thunder sound like something like somebody walking? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna give you that answer right now. It doesn't. It doesn't. And if it does, I'm not nowhere near it. Nope. Wasn't. Nope. You got it.
but still, I had to check my room just for peace of mind.
No, you didn't. No, you
I
didn't.
went up the stairs to my room and turned on the lights, given that all the rooms in the house were dark due to the weather. My room is square-shaped with 2 big closets. The room was clear, as were the closets, so I shut the light and went back downstairs. That night, when James got home, I had a discussion with him about the strange events that had been taking place. He said he hadn't been aware of any of it. Still, nothing that happened up until that point was extremely unusual.
Well, I feel like everything that happened up until this point is extremely unusual. What the fuck are you talking about? Unless you've already experienced something like this on numerous occasions, and you're just used to it. I don't care how much I get used to a paranormal activity. This bitch still creeps me out. It still scares the hell out of me. You know? And I feel like your man is in cahoots. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying.
For the rest of the night, things were normal. I fell asleep with ease. I awoke at some off hour in the night. It was still dark. I checked my phone. It was 2 in the morning. I rolled back on my side and shut my eyes. When I heard the distinct sound of a finger tapping on a window, I could feel my heart in my throat. I didn't know why someone would be knocking at my window, but I didn't want to see who could be out there.
Okay.
But for some reason, it took me that long to realize I was on the 2nd floor of the house. Therefore, nobody could be on the outside of my window. I pushed the sheets off my body and flipped to face the window.
Any else born? Anybody? Cluck this dude, like for real. Red flags everywhere. And he acting like he don't see them bitches. Okay.
There was no one standing there on the inside though. So I lifted the blind, and there was no one outside either. Still, I knew that I heard what I heard, and I knew I hadn't been imagining or dreaming it. I ran to my brother's room and started freaking out. I don't know whether he believed me or not. Quite frankly, I don't think I'd believe me if I hadn't experienced it.
I do.
I slept in the living room that night, and it's been 3 weeks now without any paranormal incidents. I never believed in the supernatural until this happened.
I always believe in that shit.
I once took a road trip from New Hampshire to Florida. I had to stop at a hotel to sleep overnight when I was about halfway there. It was some old, somewhat dilapidated hotel that rested off the highway on a quiet road.
Wow, that's sus.
There were like 2 cars in the parking lot, so there were definitely not a lot of guests.
Sus.
The lady at the front desk was very robotic and seemed bored with her job. She seemed to fit the atmosphere of the hotel perfectly. The lobby was full of tacky chairs and tables you'd expect to find put out on the curb. The wallpapers were all dated and equally tacky. Didn't matter though, I wasn't staying there for the luxury. Just for the night and for the convenience. It was late when I checked in, so when I got in the room, all I did was take out my toothbrush and brush my teeth before jumping into the hotel bed. I turned out the lamp next to the bed and tried to go to sleep, not looking forward to the long day of driving I had ahead of me the next day. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. I looked at the bedside clock to be sure that it was almost midnight. I went to the door and looked through the peephole.
Why?
Apparently the peephole didn't work though, because I couldn't see out into the hallway through it.
Set up.
All I saw was black. I looked down at the crack under the door, but didn't see any outlines of feet blocking the light. So I opened the door just a little bit to peek into the hallway.
No, you didn't.
I didn't see anyone standing in front of the door. I opened it fully and then peeked down both sides of the hallway.
You have got to be bullshitting me. That tiny creak, that tiny crack that you made within that door, that was enough for anything to sneak in. Then you just open the shit wide the hell open. Like you just don't, like you throwing a party or something. Like, hey, come on in. Hey, come on. What's up?
It was clear. So I had to suddenly question if someone in this relatively vacant hotel was pranking me. I shut the door, locked it with the bolt this time, and went to lay back down in the bed. But then it happened again, a knock at the door. This time I jumped out of the bed, ran to the door, and checked the peephole again.
Stay in bed.
Shockingly, all I saw was the empty hallway outside. But it hit me. This time I could actually see through the peephole. I unbolted the door and opened it. No one. I looked down both sides of the hallway again, and there was no one.
I feel like every time you open the door, something is coming in your room. I don't know what it is. I don't know who it is. But I feel like every time you open up the door, either you crack it or you open wide the hell open, whatever. If you open the door, I feel like something is coming in. Ew. It's coming in your room every time you open that door. And if that's the case, fuck you.
This was where I drew the line. I grabbed the key to the room and went to the lady at the front desk. I told her someone kept knocking on my door, and politely asked her to check the cameras to see who it could be. She said they didn't have cameras in the hallways. Her reaction also wasn't what I was hoping for. She seemed very calm and disconcerted with what I told her. She said in a calm voice there was only one other guest in the whole building. Then she just stared blankly at me. I'm not sure how she thought her response properly acknowledged my concern or what she expected me to say, but I could tell she wouldn't be of any help with the matter, so I left her and went back to my room. I locked the door with the bolt again. This time I put on my headphones and put on one of those 10-hour sleep relaxation videos on YouTube. This would not only help me get to sleep, but block out any possible future sounds from whoever was deciding to mess with me. And it worked. For a while, at least. Eventually, I flipped from my side to my back, just looked around the room. My head froze when I was staring at the corner. I sat up to try to get a closer look at what I thought I was seeing. I swear, it looked like a giant humanoid figure, like a 10-foot-tall human, standing right in the corner, head to the ceiling. When I put that image together in my head, I felt a sudden rush of horror in my body. I jumped across the bed to flick on the lamp, but when the room lit up, there was nothing in that corner.
You got me clucked up.
I simply sat there with my heart beating, probably 200.
Cluck a sitting. Cluck a sat there. No. Either I'm busting out that window, or I'm busting out the door. Either way, I'm getting out that door. I'm getting out the room. And then on my way out, I'm saying, "Cluck you" to the to that one employee at the hotel. It's a hotel. I feel like she's the only one there, but since it's a hotel, I feel like it should be multiple co-workers there at any given time and not just one person working at a hotel. That's really sus. And that's a red flag right there, you feel me? I don't know. I don't know who was clucking up more, you or the other guy.
100 beats per minute. I gave myself a couple minutes to calm down before shutting the light back off and laying back down on my side.
What? Why?
I still had the headphones in my ears playing the relaxation video.
No.
It helped calm me down a little bit.
No.
I didn't last even 2 minutes without sitting back up and examining the room again, however. And there it was in the corner. What looked to be a 10-foot-tall humanoid figure. I crawled to the edge of the bed to get as close a look as I could.
Why?
Before practically shitting myself.
Come on.
I saw what I was sure was a long arm at the side, moving. I dove to turn on the lamp again, and the corner was empty again. I didn't stick around that time. I packed up my few things in a matter of seconds and left the room. I gave the key to the woman and said I'm checking out early. She didn't even say a word as I stormed out that front door of the hotel.
I would have threw the keys.
I continued driving until I found another hotel, where I fell fast asleep with no supernatural disturbances.
What? After that experience, I would have said cluck all hotels and motels, and I just would have slept in my car. And I thought it was only 2 stories. I did not know it was 3 stories. That's what's up.
As a kid, I had a bedroom on the first floor. Money was a little tight, and our mom was taking care of 4 kids. I was the youngest, so I had the little room. My room was next to the living room, a small square room with wood flooring. There were 2 big vents in the floor in this room in 2 opposite corners, and also 2 vents in the ceiling. My bed took up half the room. Like I said, it was a very small room. I'll keep it short and straight to the point. I was 13 years old doing my homework on my bed since I didn't have a desk in my room when I heard a child's laughter. I went outside my...
Clucker. Big time. Hold on. Deadass.
room to look around the living room and kitchen for any of my siblings. Everyone seemed to be upstairs though. Usually in these kinds of stories, you hear people say they just chalk these kinds of things up to their imagination. But that's stupid. I definitely heard that laughter. There's no way I imagined something so clear. I continued my homework, but with one ear perked up listening for any other suspicious sounds. Eventually enough time passed that I was able to move past it. In fact, it seems it was just about when I was able to get over it that I heard it again. A child's laughter. Or more so, giggling, I should say. This time it went on longer. It wasn't coming from outside my room. It was somewhere in the room. I figured one of my brothers were hiding from me. I followed the sound of the laughter, strangely to the corner of my room. Then I looked down at the vent on the floor. It was coming from inside the vent. I got down on my knees and pressed my ear up to the vent. There was no more giggling at this point though. When there was a silence for a few seconds, I lifted my ear from the vent and then put my eyes up to the vent to get a peek inside. It took me a second to realize I was staring at a pair of eyes looking back up at me. They shrieked at
This is why you close all vents, windows, and doors. And anything that could be locked shouldn't be locked. Because of shit like that. That's, oh my gosh, yo, oh. If I was in your situation and oh my god, yo, and a pair of eyes looked at me back in a vent, I'm passing out and then my soul is probably hauling ass to heaven. Dead ass.
like a girl and screamed for my mom. She came storming into my room moments later, but of course the noises were gone, as were the eyes. My mom thought I was going crazy due to a lack of sleep, but I refused to sleep in that room, so she let me sleep in her room that night. That went on for a week actually, before she put her foot down. I spent the next 4 years in that same bedroom before we moved, and nothing...
4 years? 4 years of what I can only think. Oh yeah! Woo! Clucking corn and getting stuck in my esophagus. But 4 years of staying in that room, I can only imagine what you was going through in those 4 years. My condolences, brother.
Paranormal ever happened to me since that one particular night.
Well, not what that you know of. See, come on. Yo, come on. These sound effects. Mr. Nightmare did it again. I want to say the first guy had the most cluck ups. And the fact that there were so many red flags around him. He saw the red flags. He noticed the red flags, but he didn't do shit about it. So cluck him to the max. Second story, right? I want to say you was, I mean, granted, everybody was clucking up, but I feel like for the first guy was clucking up the most. Second guy, he was also clucking up because there was some, paranormal shit going on, and he didn't think nothing of it. Oh, okay. Bet you got me clucked up, right? But then the third one is like, this is why I tell y'all to close your vents, and doors, and windows at all times. And anything that should be locked, anything that can't be locked should be locked. I can't believe he stayed in that room for 4 years. 4 years of just straight torture. 4 years of just paranormal shit. 4 years of just never having a full night's rest. Because you decided you just want to play games and shit. All three of these stories, all three of these guys, people were just playing games. It's like all three of them had, PlayStation controllers, and they were just playing GTA online 24/7, just playing games. Between the hours of 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., that's when shit starts to happen that we can't really explain. I'm gonna just keep giving my advice, because hopefully somebody out there is listening to me and is taking whatever I say into full effect, because clearly they're not. There's people out there that just listen to it's like when I give y'all advice, some of y'all hear it and it goes in one ear and it stays in right forever. But then it's like some of y'all like listen to my advice and they're like, it goes in one ear and out the other, like I never even said anything. Like that's okay. That's okay. That's cool. Y'all can do whatever the hell y'all want. I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. Like, I'm tired. I'm tired of giving out. What's the point of giving out advice when nobody gonna listen to me? Like, come on now. Shit. But keep it cool, keep it classy, and I love you. Stay happy, my family. And I really hope Mr. Nightmare uploads a video for Christmas or around Christmas, because that would be clutch. See y'all in the next